to the first Facebook ads training. And in this first module, I want to cover two very important things that all best-in-class course creators set up with regard to Facebook before they start running any ads. The first is a Facebook Business Manager account, and the second is the Facebook Pixel set up properly on their website. And so what I'm going to do is cover the entire process step by step so that you can follow along with me, so that if you don't have those set up already, you're going to know exactly how to do that start to finish. That way, as we go through the rest of these modules, you can actually start diving in and start driving qualified traffic to your course site. A couple quick things before we get started. A lot of people ask us about these things, and I wanted to address off the top. If you've run ads in the past from like your personal Facebook account and you've had a bunch of issues, like a credit card getting denied or declined, or your account getting banned, course clients can really only help you out in very limited fashion, and most of the time we'd just be pointing you toward Facebook support. And luckily, Facebook gives you a lot of options and a platform to dispute all of those things, but it can take a long time for them to get back to you and actually get that resolved. And during that time, you're not able to run any ads. You're basically frozen out of your account. And so we get a ton of people in that situation saying, hey, can you unlock my account or get my ads back and running because I've been banned? And the reason for that is that's usually because they didn't know what they were doing or didn't have proper Facebook training when they were first starting out. And so we at Course Clients found that the best way to address those is actually to prevent that from happening in the first place. And the number one way to do that is to make sure that you set up a business manager account from Facebook. We always want to make sure that's set up before we get involved. And here's why. If you run ads from your personal ad account, like I mentioned, and you have just a credit card declined, Facebook will ban and block everything, and there's nothing you can do about it until Facebook support reviews and unlocks your account. If, however, you have that same thing happening from a business manager account, most of the time you can just simply create a brand new ad account and keep running ads while you're going through and going back and forth with Facebook. If Facebook shuts down your personal account where you're running ads through, you are totally out of luck. So that's the thing that we're going to do first. There's so much more freedom and flexibility and peace of mind with having a business manager account. It only requires a couple of steps, and the payoff of that is huge. So let's start with that first, and then we'll go into Facebook Pixels. In order to set up a business manager account, what I want you to do is fire up a browser and do a quick Google search for how to set up Business Manager for Facebook. And I want you to go to this first Facebook Ads Help Center link. It'll direct you to this page, and this page is the best and clearest example that I've found. And I go through the step-by-step with all of our beginner clients, because it just does such a great job of showing you what the necessary steps are so that you can get this out of the way and move on to the other value-added stuff. If you want, you can take the time to read about some of the benefits of having a business manager account, and then simply go through these 4 steps. Navigate to business.facebook.com, click Create Account, enter in your name of your business and all of the necessary information, add people to your business manager if you want to add other teammates, add pages, including your own personal Facebook page, add an ad account, and then there you go, you're set up. So I'm not going to take the time to actually go through each one of these because it's so self-explanatory, but just do yourself a favor, navigate to this page in the Help Center, and then just go step by step through each one of these steps. Takes no more than 10 minutes and you're set. When you have Business Manager set up, you're going to go, your menu is going to look like this. So you have all of these different options, all of this different control over your account now. The next thing you need to do before you set up ads is actually put in a payment method that's going to fund your ads. To do that, you want to navigate over to Settings and click Settings. Then navigate all the way to the left and click payment settings. On that page is where you actually put in the credit card information, and that credit card is what you're going to use to fund your ads at first. Now, this is very self-explanatory and this should be common sense, but I want to give everybody two pieces of advice when it comes to selecting a credit card. First is your credit card needs to be reliable. And yes, even though you now have a business manager account, and if your credit card gets declined or suspended, you can always add another, you can always create another ad account. However, the number one surefire way to piss off Facebook is to have your payment declined over and over and over. And we don't want to piss off Facebook. So do yourself a favor and use whatever is your most reliable payment source for a credit card. Second thing is make sure that that credit card also has a high enough spending limit that it's going to fully fund or support your ads. And I'm not saying that you need to spend thousands of dollars on ads right away, but if you only have a $5,000 credit limit on that card and you end up, wanting to scale things up eventually, it doesn't take much in order to rack up $5,000 in any given month, and then again you're going to have payments being declined. So if that's the case, you can always set up backup cards and have some redundancies built in that way. But just whatever you do to set up, you want to make sure that your card is one, reliable, two, has a substantial credit limit. That said, now technically you're ready to start running ads. However, the second thing that I mentioned that every best-in-class course creator has is they set up something called the Facebook Pixel on their website before they start running ads. If you're unfamiliar with what Facebook Pixel is Facebook Pixel is a piece of code that we are going to install on our website that will allow Facebook to track activity once they get there. So for instance, if I want to track how many people clicked on my ad and then went and downloaded my playbook and then subscribed, or rather set an appointment and eventually ended up purchasing my course, the only way I can track all of that is with Facebook Pixel. So it's a piece of code that we're now going to generate and put on our website. In order to do that, go to your Facebook account, go to the menu. Under Measure and Report, you want to find Pixels and click Pixels. What you're eventually going to find is a menu that looks like this, and it gives you a few different options. Manually install it yourself or email instructions to a developer. So this is really going to depend on the software that you're using and how your website is set up. If you have access to your source code of your website, this is so easy to do, even though it may sound intimidating. I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. And it really couldn't be easier. If, however, you don't necessarily have access to the source code, you instead have like a web team that does all your web build for you, what I would just do is click email instructions to a developer, put their email here, and it will just generate a step-by-step instruction manual of how to install that code onto your website, and you should be good to go that way. But I want to get this up and running, and I want to start running ads ASAP. So I'm going to select manually install Pixel code yourself. And so when I do that, it gives me some simple instructions. Locate the header code for your website, and this is what it looks like. And then copy the entire Pixel code and paste it into the website header. A third thing before you do that, make sure that this automatic advanced matching is turned on. We're not going to use this right away, but by having this on, down the road, this will give us a lot of really cool like targeting options and a lot of data that we could play around with. But for now, what I want to do is copy this code to my clipboard. And so just hover over and click. Now it's copied to my clipboard. So what I'm going to do now is just go to my website, go to the source code, and just paste this in. We at Course Clients use ClickFunnels. I know a lot of our clients use ClickFunnels, and so I'm going to go through and walk through that process of how to do that. Navigate to ClickFunnels, and what we're looking at here are all the different steps in our funnel to sell our course. What I want to do is go to the first one and select Edit Page, go to Settings, and tracking code. And by clicking that, it shows me the header code. This will be blank if you haven't already pasted it. And so all you do is hit paste and then close out. Boom, that's all it takes. Simple as that. Now remember, I need to make sure that that code is on every page of my website. So I'm just going to go back, go to the next page, edit page, settings, tracking code, and paste. Make sure it's in the header code, close. Navigate back, and rinse and repeat. Easy as that. Now, that's what is called the Facebook Pixel base code. That base code goes on every page, so it can track activity on every page. But if I want to track conversion activities, I need another piece of code that Facebook will give me called a standard event code. To get that, after I've already pasted this base code, I'm going to hit continue. Once I hit continue, I'm going to now manually install an event code. And this is cool because it allows you to track all of these different valuable actions or ROI-based activities within Facebook. Now, depending on what your funnel is to sell your course, you may want to target one of these, may want to target multiple ones of these. So I'm going to show you exactly the ones that we use at Course Clients. The first thing that we do is we want to get people to download this course sales playbook. So I want to track not only how many people come to this page, but how many people actually download and subscribe to our newsletter. And so navigating back to Facebook Pixel, we want to use this subscribe event code. So I'll scroll back down. Here's what that event code looks like. Notice how much smaller this is. So I'm just going to copy this to my clipboard. And instead of putting this in the header code, I'm actually going to put this in the footer code, just of that one page. So going back to ClickFunnels, I go to the thank you page after they've subscribed, hit edit page, settings, tracking code, make sure this time I'm in the footer code, and then paste. The next thing that we want to track within Course Clients is we want to track not only how many people got the playbook, but how many people actually booked an application or a phone consultation. So I'll go back into Facebook Pixel and select we use the schedule option. And so by clicking schedule, this will give me another event code that I copy to my clipboard, go back into ClickFunnels, find the thank you page after they've applied, and paste it just on this one page. And paste. Boom, there it is. Once you've done that, now we just want to confirm that we've done this correctly. So in order to do that, we recommend that you get something called the Facebook Pixel Helper, which is a free extension on the Chrome browser. So assuming you've done all this in Chrome or that you have access to use the Chrome browser, this is what you'll do. Open up a Google browser and search for Facebook Pixel Helper. Click on this top link and download the extension from Chrome. What Facebook Pixel Helper will do is we'll add this little icon or widget to your taskbar up here. And notice that right now it's grayed out. When I click on it, the reason it's grayed out is because there are no Facebook pixels on this page. If there is a Facebook pixel, this will light up. So this is an easy way to tell if I've done this correctly on my website. So what I'll actually do is go to a couple pages on my website and now take a look at this Facebook Pixel Helper. Notice it's no longer grayed out. I click on it and boom, there's the pixel. This is green, which is telling us that this is firing and collecting data accurately through Facebook. So this is ready to go via something called a page view. I then want to go to a couple other pages of our of our funnel. And now look at this. Remember, we pasted not only the base code, we also pasted the event code on here as well. So by clicking on Facebook Pixel Helper, sure enough, I can confirm we've got the page view base code and the subscription event code. And last but not least, let's go to this page. Sure enough, we've got the page view base code and the schedule event code. So now I'm ready to go. I know I've done all this correctly, and I'm ready to start serving ads and collecting that data. Couple reasons why this is important, not only to measure the ROI, is because once we actually start setting up campaigns, Facebook will allow us to set up a conversion-based campaign. So for instance, I want to set up a campaign that is going to drive as many subscriptions or as many downloads of our playbook as possible. Well, the only way that I'm able to do that is if I have Facebook Pixel already installed. That way, Facebook can optimize that algorithm and start targeting people that are most likely to actually download. But if I don't have that, that's not going to be an option for me. So like I mentioned, so many reasons why best in class and the most successful course creators already have Facebook Business Manager and Facebook Pixel already installed. So now we're ready to go, guys. My advice to you would be this: take the next 30 minutes or so. It may take you a little bit longer, but take the time to actually set up a Facebook business account if you haven't already done so, and then set up your payment method, and then put the Facebook Pixel on your website. If you're very, very stuck on the Facebook Pixel and you're still needing more help, there are plenty of folks that you can hire off of Fiverr that will do this for you relatively quickly and easily, although I think that you can see in just like 10 or 15 minutes, you can get this pretty much set up and ready to rock on your account. Take the time and do that. On the next module, what we're really going to focus is on calibrating the right audience now that we've set all this stuff up, and how to do our audience targeting the right way to sell courses. Thanks, guys. I'll see you in the next training.